Hello everyone, ẹ káàbọ̀ padà sórí Python programming yìí, and today I want to discuss decision making. Most times, programming in general often involves examining a set of conditions and deciding which action to take based on those conditions. A way to make the decision is by using an if statement. If statement here máa ń jẹ́ kí a mọ current state tí program wa bá wà, and then let us respond accordingly. So the if statement has this syntax whereby you have an if followed by the condition, the colon, and in your next line you leave some indentation and you start the scope of your if statement. I'm going to show you how it's done in a second. So I have created this file called decision.py in my Python learn folder, and I am going to hide this. I have this line of code here. It's simply a variable name class, which is a list of different strings. So each of those strings representing a char. And this is how the if statement works. So you have the if itself as a statement, and then I have a condition. So my condition could be if BMW in class. Remember this in statement from our membership. Then after your condition, you have a colon. So you click on enter, and when you have enter, you can notice that there is a space or an indentation that follows in the next line. So that is important for Python. If you don't have that space, then you're going to run into an error. So tabati she if BMW in cars, I want to print, say I have a BMW. So what's going to happen is that the program checks if this string is inside the list of this variable, which is cars. And if it's there, then it prints I have a BMW. Let's check it out. Can you see it goes I have a BMW? But let's try something else. Let's assume I have a Mercedes. So obviously Mercedes is not in the list of these cars. Let's see if it's going to print out this statement. So I'm going to run it. Can you see it doesn't print out anything because Mercedes is not in it? So basically, program here ma want if statement she condition yi she reliable. The condition ever one be, then it's going to print whatever is inside this suite of if statement. If it's not in it, then the program continues. So I'm going to come here and say print program continues. Yeah. So it's just going to jump into line 7 and not going to print the line 4 because Mercedes is not there. But if I add Mercedes here, see I have a list of my cars. Then I run this program again. You would see the line 4 comes out. I have a Mercedes, and the program continues here. So either way, your statement after the if block would always run. But whatever is inside the if block would run only depending on the condition, if it is true. Python also makes a good use of the comparison operator we once discussed as a conditional test. So if the conditional test evaluates to a true, Python is going to execute the code following the if statement. Let me show you what I mean. I got rid of the cars variable and I'm creating another variable called num, which is 8. So here comes the conditional statement. If num equals 8, remember this double equal to from the conditional comparison operator, then we print number is 8. So when I run this, then I get the number is 8 and the program continues here. Now imagine I'm comparing number to 10. Remember my number is 8 and I'm comparing number to 10. Do you think it's going to come inside this line 4? Let's see. Can you see it doesn't execute this? It just goes to whatever is after the if statement. So line 1, you need to set a variable number to be 8. Then in line 3, we then compare with share OJ 8. We can do a simple debug and see how it works. So I put a breakpoint on line 3. Then somebody start debugging here. And my program my pause to pass it day line 3. So on this line, my number is 8 right here. It compares 8 equals to 10. Since it's not equals to 10, you see the control just jumped over line 4 and it came to line 7. There you go. So it only prints the program continues here. So again, the if statement is always a true or false situation. I can print something like this and see age, then use the comparison operator to check this. So let's see what this line 4 is going to give us. Can you see it gives me true because this is a true condition? But what if I do age equals 18? Remember my age is set to 15 here, and I do Python this, then it gives me false. Good. So we can also use the if statement to check multiple conditions. Okay, so I can do if age is equal to 15 and gender equals to female, then I can print the conditions are true. Okay, so now Timba run a lay, it tells me the condition are true because both of these conditions are true. So we can use the if statement to check multiple conditions. But in a situation where I'm comparing the gender to be a male, but remember my gender here on line 2 is set as a female, and I'm asking the program if the age is 15 and the gender is male, in that condition print this. So let's see if it's going to print conditions true. It does not, because this and it does not evaluate to true. So you can use the if statement to print multiple conditions also using an or statement. So in this case, I want to check if the age is 15 or the gender is male. Either one of the two, just print this. Let's see what happens. The conditions are true because at least one of the condition is true. So the program is going to enter line 5. We can also use the if condition to check if a value is not in a list. So look at this line 1. I have a list of strings, which is a list of my cars, and I'm checking on line 3. If BMW not in cars, then you print this BMW not in the list. So I just want to see because BMW is not in the car, then the if statement execute here. Okay, and also something you should know is that you can have multiple statements inside the if too. So if I run this, as long as all my statements are within the if block, and when I say if block, I mean is within this indentation, then it would always execute. Okay, so because BMW is not in cars, then we printing this. Good. So in the next video, I'm going to be continuing on this if condition. There is also another situation where we can have an if else situation where we want to print something if the condition is true. Otherwise, if the condition is not true, we also want to do something else. So watch that out in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Ó dàbọ̀.